I never thought seeing J Park pregnant would ever be on my bingo card, but here we are. Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we're here taking a look at Longot in their pre-debut track, Saucin. We got the music video and the dance practice pulled up. I believe they are the first group to debut under J Park's newest agency that he's made. I think it's called More Vision. So I'm very intrigued by this. I know a lot more about J Park than I do know about these boys. So yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. So let's go ahead and check it out. Ugh. This is the group that put their middle fingers up.
Don't come back until you do. You guys are idols. It's not dating. You do what I say. One more thing. Big. Yeah. Hey, let's get it. Let's start the show. We out. Ladies. Where are you going? Get back out of your mouth.
Oh. Oh, that's cute. With the camera direction changes. We gotta start by everybody's off work, flipping cars, dancing on cars. Yeah, More Vision's the agency, right? Wait, was Ren involved in the choreographic process of this? I recognize one of these environments, like that one. He said, is that a chain of all of them? Let's go, let's go. So they took the little guys. I'll share my thoughts at the end. I just need to absorb. Under a hurricane, I feel like God. I can't keep on giving you time. Pass it, my life, meet it, and I get present. Don't be surprised. Yeah, let's get it. Me and my team and energy only. With the real sunshine, 내가 널 써, 내 girl money. Yeah, I feel like I'm NASA. 바로 날려버려 rocket. Yeah, 우리 팀에서 like a thief in a knife in a run. They pocket. 망가져도 돼. We going up. 내일 없는 것처럼 started at the one step. 다른 방식으로 two step. 걱정 안 해, 우리 next step. Sauce be my blood, sauce be my veins, sauce be my DNA. My blood be where the sauce is. Push your buzz when walking. It's that long shot. Welcome to your coffin. Yeah, we take it down, sniper style. Yeah, we lawless. Yeah, we Michelin in this thing. Yeah, we saucin'. Let's go. So that was the thumbnail. It ain't over. Is J Park gonna show up again? Is the anti art the same person that did? There was a Vietnamese dance visual I saw, and I feel like I've seen that name before. I never thought seeing J Park pregnant would ever be on my bingo card, but here we are. There's nothing serious to be taken about this music video. Oh my god. Sauce be in my blood. Oh, is he tired? Wow, interesting. Now I am curious about age. I do believe I heard that they're teenagers. I don't know how young, I don't know the range or anything, so I'm curious about that. Also, the, like, what's the word? Whenever, I know Jay Park, you know, and more of his lived experiences. I have, like, no info on these boys, so I have no idea what do they create their own raps, right? Are they, what is their involvement on the rap side? Because normally in the rap space, you want to avoid a couple of things. Ghostwriting, so somebody writing on your behalf, but you take credit for it, because that is a thing. But also what you're talking about, or like the raps that you're bringing, there's a sense of like lived life or experience within that. And I'm curious just about, you know, what direction are we going to go as they get older and they're in the spotlight, right? And I'm assuming they didn't live the same kind of life Jay did. I don't know if any of them are American. So have any of them actually touched a gun before? Because they use a lot of gun imagery that I find to be funny. I'm like, have they ever held a gun before? Because I don't think they're old enough to be in the military yet. I don't know though. Like it's very thought provoking. And I think the thing that I think was so insane to me was the chain itself. It turned into, there's so much money that went into some of these fashion choices. Okay, where is it? It's like they turned into a Megazord. Okay, all that. This does give me like a similar Young Posse vibe in the music video format too, because they've had a lot of these like really big expansive CGI things. So that's something that I thought was interesting. It's so, we're so close. Where is it? It's... this situation. If you've ever watched Power Rangers, like I grew up watching, this just reminds me of the Megazords, where they're just that. That's just too much for me. Wow. Okay. Interesting. So yeah, I have those questions to begin, and I have a feeling whenever, because they have a moonwalking, right? We'll look at that one here soon, and maybe that'll give me more context. It's just very interesting so far. I don't mind it. Okay, we have the dance practice pulled up. Are there subtitles? Because it's showing. Be still my heart. We have English subs. 10s on 10s on 10s. Speed change. That was cool. Oh, that was fun. No switch until we DIE. Faux show boys. Hey, Michelin is Saucin, Coffin, Sniper. I think we're using all of that lingo closer to the wordplay of the name of their group versus the lived experience of actually being in this type of life, if that makes sense. Oh, okay. They did a little freeze. Run the pockets. Oh! They have a song called Moonwalkin', so they low-key spoiled it here, didn't they? But I haven't heard that one at all, so that's kind of fun. They're clean. I like their energy. It's very fascinating, right? So a lot of things that you saw visually within the music video, it sparks a lot of conversation on where these items were pulled from, right? So like the uses of chains and grills and stylings and fashion, and even some of our dance here. I hope, if anything, it sparks curiosity to want to learn and lean into cultural influences outside of what you see in Korea, just to grow one's perspective of what made a grill be popularized, right? Because I've been deep diving depending on, you know, the ism like Kongul, like the brand with the kangaroo, like that, knowing that LL Cool J popularized that, or the Guada Guada with Afro. How did that get popularized? Rihanna and Childish Gambino brought it, you know, showed it off over in the 2017 time period. So if anything, if you're somebody who's like, I'm not quite sure why they're using this or this, if any, it doesn't hurt to just do a Google search. And also if you have somebody who is, you know, if they live life with, you know, partaking in these types of cultural things, ask them. I think that can really help with growing everybody as humans. So I'm not gonna really touch too much on that because we're here for the dance. Here we go. They said, okay, we made it, now we're here. But they're technically not debuted yet. So they're like, okay, cool. So I like the mannerisms, the slow walk forward looks really fine. Sauce be in my blood, little toss it up. They must be saucy, right? They needed a, I wonder what kind of sauce are we, I mean, Michelin star, are they like Italian sauce? Are they like, Asian sauce? I don't know. Like, are they gochujang? I don't freaking know. I got 10s on 10s. I like that. It's subtle. It's gestural, but it's a vibe. It's how we feel. The little headbang is nice. You can low-key, like that right there. You can get whiplash if you're not careful with this range. It's a vibe. So they hop it around. Now look at the speed change. And they went 1, 2, 3, doom, doom. So they didn't even hit on like a 5 when you normally would. Because if you didn't know, a lot of times songs can be counted by dancers in 8s. So we would count this in an 8 count. And predictably, one can, you know, create patterns in your brain whenever you see choreography for a long time, which a lot of you guys, I would say, are individuals who are laymen at the very least, meaning that you have eyes and ears and observations of multiple facets of the industries, not just K-pop and other spaces. So it allows you the ability to kind of know what to you is good to you and what's not good to you. And it helps you formulate kind of your own overall opinion of preferences. So in this space here, there's common things that are predictable when movements start on 1 or start on 5, or they start on even counts depending on the framework of the move. Here in this case, whenever we're doing a speed change, you would normally see it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But what they did is they went on the doom, 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 doom. It went on a 4 and. So it went before what was predicted based on a pattern if you're going to see a dynamic like that. All that long-winded to say, it's a really fun way of creating a nice moment without it being basic. It's very subtle, but it works. They end up speeding it up, going fast there. Sauce be in my blood. The hops are fine. Bring it to the end. I like the double doom doom. That's cool. Then you have that, so it looks like, were they making a gun there where they hit it in and then they travel it up the body, and it says 10s on 10s, and then they introduce this mannerism that we saw earlier more as a feature moment. We see it as more collective group there. Now my features, I'm assuming, is my guy here because of the space that we have between our trio and him. Now he's a little bit more texturized, more pedestrian, individualized compared to the structure of the 90 degree that we see here. it looks like they're both singing or both vocalizing. So I wonder if they're just passing it off or what. Not sure. I mean, maybe one of them is lip syncing over everybody's tracks. That we see groups all the time do that. There's always somebody where you're like, are they featured here? Because that's not their voice. It's happened. so they sync it, Lou. That's in it, and we made it. I like this. Some around. It'll hurt a bit. Are they in Show Me the Money? Like, are they on the show at all? Because Jay Park's the producer, so wouldn't it be a really good way to get these guys, you know, to really test themselves by being put out and exposed in that way? Or I'm just not, I don't know. I find it very interesting the timing of this to Jay Park's involvement with Show Me the Money season 12. And also, side note, the fact that he's with my, what is it? Oh my God, my dude from Groovy Room. God, what a powerhouse producer duo that they are. Just as a side note, so excited for Show Me the Money. You have no idea. But I like this little exchange here. You know, they're like, what's up? Yeah, till the end, and we hit that. So we have a nice musicality, which is a visual or connection relationship between your music and your movement. They do a good job on creating a visual representation of what we hear. That's what dance is, and that's why dance can be just as universally captivating like what we listen to. Now they have that more vision. That's their company tag. I like the little knock of the head. We don't chase fame. Well, cool. Okay, nice. Which way? So I like the rigidness from one side to another. My blood is different. Wicked. Ugh. Okay. What is it, like a letter that doesn't exist? That would be bad, because how can we donate to help you? I'm just kidding. It's not that deep. Okay. So I like that we have everybody, except for your feature, leading towards the stage left side. It's a really interesting way to create something that's not, what's the word? It's not as predictable, it's not as structured or as uniform, but it's still cohesive, which can help whenever you're trying to dive into setting yourself up as an artist in the rap space. You want to not look like you're conforming, because that's the opposite of why rap exists to begin with. So that's why we're going to naturally associate individuality and associate it to rap in comparison to the normal K-pop landscape of groups when they have choreo in the Gen 5 era. So they sent it back like a little nay there. He said, let me tell you honestly. And he has a little height hop. So cool. Height works in that favor no matter which way, no stop and we. Yeah, we about to go stupid. And then they go knock knock. We associate being stupid to our brain and how we use it in spaces and situations. So the knock knock on the sound is a nice wordplay choice to go off the word stupid. No switching. So I guess it was just a nice little accent or little speed change there until we D-I-E. D-I-E spells what? Die. Right. Pour it all out. So we have this strobe. We have this interruption of a flow. Pour it all out till the wheels fall off. We open it up. And then we have a little moment. We drop it down. We going up. So we have it up, going up. So we're going off of his tone when he says the word up, and we are doing the motion of ups, another wordplay choice. Like, there's no tomorrow. He's like, there's no tomorrow. Okay, I see you. And then they have the switch off on the arms here. And they have the triple, click, 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 drop it down. Start it at the one step. Now they just have a one step with a different approach, two step. They do a little head, but they never stepped there. Normally you would see somebody step together, but they didn't do that. Interesting. But they held up the number 2, another wordplay choice. And we are hiding one of our members. Is it functional? We'll see. I've made this note many, many a times. I would say the trend that I'm noticing a lot in Gen 5 is the debuting of even number groups. However, what's not developing as fast as my preference is, and I'm not talking about Longshot specifically, but this is something that you will hear me mention, especially with groups of 6 or 8, boy group, girl group, sides alike, is the... there are many, many areas of opportunity to feature people and maintain symmetry and balance without having to sacrifice a member directly behind another member. I noticed it just a little bit here, but I think it's because of my sensitivity to it with even numbers, not because I think it's just a habit placement that they're putting in the overall formation structure. So I just wanted to kind of point that out, though, that I am noticing it, but it's not as frequent as I've noticed in other groups and their tracks. And it just depends on the era, if I'm being honest. So we're not worried. We go on the next step. Sauce be in my blood, sauce be in my veins. So I like that turned into an add-on. da 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 da. So that rhythm in tone sounds, it's a repeat. And so having the movement repeat, but you add more people and you have this sound also build up in our music, I think it's a really nice way to progress back into the chorus. And then they have that sauce. That sauce has a little punch to it, and so adding a punch in really helps make it more forceful. Sauce be in my DNA, and then we speed change it on the regression. Then you have this little echo coming around the back. So far the only note I could say is we had one of my guys be hidden away, but he's right there. We found him. And then my blood be where the sauce is. Faux show boys, I'm assuming is that, you know how KQ has KQ fellas before ATs or before psychers? Is that what showboys is for this group? Because it's 4 and there's 4 of them, but I see them as long shot. And then it says faux showboys Moonwalkin', and Moonwalkin' is their debut track. I don't know if that was released at this time, but that's cool. So yeah, I'm really excited. And yes, technically I could pause, go like to the K profile and learn all this, but something I've learned about myself is I really like starting conversation, going over the things that we can review, and then as you guys tell me information that is relevant to what we look at, it allows me to be better instead of just, getting the baseline. Like, I know they're teenagers. I know that they're from J Park's label. I don't know their cultural upbringing. I haven't seen any, this is my first time seeing them, right? I don't know their history before this, but I know you guys have some really good ways of being able to find information. So I trust you way more than I trust my own Google searches, which is why I don't want to go in with any false information. I go off of what is like the blatantly obvious, right? And I do know they were part of the middle finger controversy because they literally trolled about it in the music video. So I'm assuming it was them, right? So then you have that long shot bang. So what we have, where we have a low level and then we have a bang with a lift up. Now, would some of these formation choices with the cover up be a little bit better if our tripod wasn't so low? There's always that chance. Like the angle you may not be able to see things, just like getting an aerial shot. You can see many people behind you without having to drop a level. So those are little things like that. And I didn't notice these types of things in the music video, so it could just be that. It says, welcome to your coffin. Yeah, we take it down, so I like that he tosses it. They hit it through sniper style. Yeah, we're lawless. I do find this part, out of everything that I'm hearing in the wordplay, the only way I can see this with any sort of like real world relevancy to these 4 boys is to their name long shot, not to their experience with it, right? Because yeah, I think I already kind of touched on that. And so I think this is the only part that I don't have as much emotional investment in. I'm like, oh yeah, But it's also because I come from a part of the country of the United States where I can get a gun. And I've touched a gun and I've touched a rifle. And I used to be a competitive shooter in high school, fun fact. So it's guns are not unfamiliar to me, but I do know the cultural sensitivity in Korea to weapons in general. So anyway, that's my whole little thing. Michelin, I like the speed changes behind him there. We Saucin, I like the pass off on we Saucin. He said, let's go, the little head, boom. So it looked like we have a heel twist happening with a V-step, with a step out. I think that's fun. So it goes, sauce be in my blood, sauce be in my blood. So I like that we're matching how we're saying it, correlating to the pattern of our feet. It's cool, and it's unified. Where the shoulders are nice. Good tension, good tone change. His tongue's sticking out, which means he's enjoying what he's doing. That's kind of your telltale sign. And they send it back. I like that little step back as well, creating openness with our chest. If you're going to choose to do, is this really... Let me think. When you're choosing to partake in movements that have a groove that's connected to them in order to make them have a sense of natural, genuine, authentic presence, it's kind of something that you want to see. So it's nice that we're able to see a little bit of that here, if not through the collective movement, through their features, where they get to be super pedestrian, live their life out, right? And the speed change is cool, like the body roll is nice. And then the rigidness on that is cool. I got it right. The hop is cool, little head nod. Then we spread it back out, new feature. Then they look forward. Well, there's a lot of, they don't look forward, they look at the next feature. So what's interesting about this is that we have a lot of heads and head nods like this that help with creating a fingerprint or an underlying tone throughout the track, not just in the track itself, but in the composition of the dance, where if you have certain isms or certain textures or certain dynamics that you add in throughout the routine without super recycling them, but you make them as a nice little embellishment, it really helps keep everything connected, even if the tone of your section reads differently than the intro or the first chorus or the first verse. So that's nice. Pull up in the studio. We made a banger, Raoul style. Raoul, all caps. It's either a name of a member, which is that guy, or it's a name of somebody that's affiliated with More Vision. No looking back, just keep moving forward, a little bounce bounce. So I like that we're using her staging here, and if I'm being honest, if they want to be known for a rap group, they don't have to dance. So it's interesting that they are dancing, because a lot of times with rappers, Show Me the Money is not a dance show, right? So it's really about your ability to write, ability to execute, and the ability to, it's a form of poetry to a degree. I dedicate my prime time for my brothers. I'm assuming the brothers are those around him. Creating a hurricane is a rotation. Granted, a really aggressively dangerous rotation, but they're going really chill and slow with it. I feel like a god. And then they take it, do a little belly bounce with the pickup on the feet, pass it, and look, they passed it. And then they point forward, a present to my future self. And then they end up sending it off. So I actually like the completion of that. If we're going to pass something imaginary off and then you have it set down on the ground, I like that they didn't forget about it, but they used it as an opportunity to literally transition and kick off the next section. It's nice. Yeah, let's get it. Me and my team, we went all in, and they have this freeze. I like the lean on that too. I think that's fun. It was shining on stage, pick up the back foot is fun. I'm your son, feel the morning. He says, and then it looks like we're mixing up Meemaw spaghetti behind us. I feel like I'm NASA, and I like the head nod there. And they're like, what? I like the mannerism on that. Launch it like a rocket. The toss away for our team. Like a thief. Cover up the eyes. And then I like and they have the run the pockets. His arms are up. And then we're patting the pockets down. Pour it up till your wheels fall off. Moving forward. And then they do a little brush down with the arm. And then we pulse it, we cross it and cross. We double it through, the toss with the arm. There's that two-step, looking to the inside, push it away. Sauce be in my blood. Same add-on as what we've seen before. Same note given on covering somebody up there. And then he goes forward, is cool. And then he drops a level. Then he says, faux show boys moonwalking. I like that he's moving forward. We're prepping this here. He lifts up. That's that long shot. Bang. Welcome to your coffin. Then we have a cross. Cross. Are we about to hit them, folks? No. Normally when you see this setup, you see it. Hit them, folks. That's not what happens. So they pick it up sniper style with the pushbacks on the shoulders. And then we take the knees. Nice knees as we travel the arm back. Really good traveling. Notice how far back they go compared to how up close they end up becoming. Michelin in this thing. Drop it down. Let's go. And it looks like it's a gun like long shot, right? With the head nod. Cool. Head bang. Hopefully you ain't got whiplash or that would gonna hurt. And hit it back. So now they're combining the very beginning to this kind of tag in the middle of the track right here for this outro. With that B step. And they create tension. They cross uncross. They knock and knock. Good speed change here. We toss it. We punch it, sweep it around. Then they go point. They're like, so. You wish. Which was interesting. So yeah, I do have a lot of thoughts, a lot of questions, right? And I'm very curious and intrigued on what direction their actual debut is going to go. Because this is only a pre-debut, right? If I'm remembering this order correctly. Also, is the anti-art person the same one from, I've looked at something from the Vietnam dance scene? Is that the same creative? But also J Park does tend to work with multiple, like, cross-cultural in a lot of his collabs and a lot of the music production. So part of me is assuming we have that in play here, right? Like cha-cha. Like most of J Park's tracks have the cha-cha producer tag in it. And so I think that's one of the big things, just like whenever you see groups tie into a traditional Korean sound, it's always nice to have those who can empathize with the culture that we are either taking inspiration from, have had an impact in our life personally, or we want to pay a respect to, it's good to have those individuals a part of the team or the inception of the sound, whether it's from the stylist standpoint, the music, the movement. Those types of things really can set an overall collaboration, because that's what it is ultimately, a collaboration up for success that can really make more people appreciate the effort in comparison to possible strife and tension, because that is something that, depending on the culture, you may have to have those types of conversations, or you may be, approached with that type of conversation. I wouldn't shy away from it. If anything, I'm hopeful that I'm able to be somebody who is a stepping stone to one's curiosity, where as I'm picking up on things or as I'm touching on things, it promotes your curiosity to want to dig deeper and create, potential conversations that you can have with people to grow yourself and your own ability to appreciate art, right? So in general, I'm really, really intrigued on moonwalking and what the sound is, and hearing from you guys a lot of the questions that I had. So you guys know me, I know you, I'm Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.